Hey Maximizers, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Crystal and this is one of my vulnerable videos. It is my April budget video. So I'm going to set up my budget with you all. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, please go ahead and click that subscribe button and join the Maximizer family. I would love to have you here. So this video is going to be all about me setting up my April budget and going through just how I budget with you all to give you guys a glimpse into how I manage my finances. Also to keep me accountable. I will also do a end of the month recap. So like at the end of the month, I will go over how the budget went, if everything went well. Yes, this video is up late. I went out of town, got a little busy. So in the future, I will have these videos up within like the first couple days of the month. So it can really set me up. It's really hurt me by not having my budget set up because I didn't know what to pay and all this other stuff. But anywho, let's go ahead, dive into this video. I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show you my budget planner. Before we get started, I just want to let everyone know this budget planner is a happy planner, okay? It's a happy planner that you can get from, I specifically got this from Amazon because they were out of it at Michael's. But you can go to Michael's, you can go to Joann's, you can go to Hobby Lobby, you can go to happyplanner.com. You can go to Amazon to find it. It's a happy planner. I ordered big rings, so these are not the standard size rings that come in the happy planner. I ordered these larger rings from Amazon so that I could put more in here. I have 3 planners in one, but I mainly use this for my budget planner, life planner, as well as my faith planner is all in one. But again, overall, this is a happy planner. Everybody asks. Again, you can go to Joann's, Michael's. Inside of here, I have the actual budget planner, but I also use the budget extension pack. So you can go ahead and use, you can go ahead and order those as well. This is a happy planner. So I'm gonna flip my camera around, give you an overhead view and talk you through. I have wrote down all the numbers because last time it took me a long time to film. This is only my 2nd month sharing my budget. So I'm trying to work out some kinks. It took me a very long time to write in everything last time. So I did it all off camera and it still took a long time. So I'm gonna work on it to get it shorter, but it's gonna make all of our lives easier if I have it done beforehand. So let's go ahead, flip the camera and dive right into my April budget. Okay, so this is my budget planner. I have it open here. This is April. I don't know if you can see the tab right here, April. So I'm gonna just flip it open. And again, for everyone, it is a happy planner, all right? So I just want to make sure you're in frame. I'm using a different holder than the one that I'm used to because I broke that one. All right, we're in frame. So this is my April planner. So I'm just going to open it up. And the first thing I always do is I do a monthly spread. So I set up my whole entire month and I put all of my paydays and I put all of my bills due. These lovely stickers are from Shay's Budget Shop. Shay Budgets is one of my favorite budgeting YouTubers. I will link her channel as well as her Etsy shop to order the stickers. All the stickers you see here except for this one because I ran out of bill due stickers of hers come from her shop. This came from the Happy Planner Budget Book. But the rest of all the stickers you see here came from Shay Budgets except for the date covers that came from one of the Happy Planner books as well. Okay? But she makes these beautiful budget kits, and that's what I'll be using in my video. And you will see them, if you watched my March video, you'll see them in there as well. So let me just go through really quickly my monthly bills. I'm going to go through them again when we get to the other page. But basically, I put every time I have a bill. And I have a lot of bills. I have a lot of debt. I have a lot of expenses. So you're going to see a lot here. I just ask for grace and understanding. I know some things I could be getting a lot cheaper, but for where I am, me and my family, this is working for us at the moment, okay? So as you can see, I have everything laid out. As far as paydays, I do want to let everyone know if you're new, I get paid every single Friday. So you'll see paydays here. I've started to include this month my YouTube payday because I do get paid from YouTube and it is a substantial amount. So I want to go ahead and include that in as well. And I'll go through each and every one of these bills during our actual budget sheet. I just like to be able to see a monthly overview of when everything is due. If you are just starting out a budget, I think this is the best place to start. And just really quickly, I talk about this in my how to create a budget video. But if you make a monthly spread, you can see when everything is due in relation to your paydays. Then you can decide so that everything that's due the 5th and before is on time. You know that it needs to get paid either with your last paycheck of the previous month, or you have to juggle some things around to make sure that you have enough money to cover your rent on the 1st, because you can't pay your rent on the 5th because it's late and you're probably going to incur a late fee. Same thing with these credit cards I have in daycare. Daycare wants their money Monday, Tuesday at the latest. So I can't wait until Friday to pay them, right? So if you see when all your bills are due, you can kind of decide what paycheck you'll pay everything so that it's not late, okay? So this is why I do the monthly spread, and I actually love it. I refer back to it. I look at it. I did include this. This is new. Because it took me so long to set up this, I'm going to start setting up my May budget around this weekend. So starting like this Thursday through Sunday, my goal is going to be to put all my stickers down, have everything written down, because it took me a lot. But if I'm in the business of breaking things up, so I'm going to start doing like 30 minutes each day. And by that time, finish the bulk of it on Saturday, so that way I can film it and have it ready to go for you on May 1st. As well as my recap video. I need to have that filmed once my last bill comes out, which will be car insurance, so that you guys can get a good recap, okay? So that's just why I put that budget sticker there. And that actually came from Elaine Michelle's studio. I'll link her Etsy shop as well, okay? So let's go to the next page, which is where I track my expenses. So specifically, these expense tracker sheets, these ones come from the Happy Planner Budget Extension Pack. And I do have the classic Happy Planner, okay? I haven't done it yet because I just got back and it's been crazy. But I will go through probably around the 15th and write all of my expenses in thus far. I love this because it has need and want. So it lets me see if I fall off my bandwagon, where I went and what I spent my money on. And I like to do this because I need to see where it's going, because sometimes I get swipe happy. And I want to know where my money is going and what am I wasting it on if I am being wasteful. So if you watched my March recap video, you will know that I wasted a lot of money and had a lot of emergency expenses come up that I had to cover. So I just have to be better. I also make a sheet for my couponing expenses because I do not pay for my own couponing. I use rebate apps to cover my couponing. And I still like to know how much I'm spending every month, just to keep an eye on it. So I will write down all of my couponing expenses on these 2 pages, okay? And then, that's just the extra page. So then this is where we get to the good stuff. So I like to start with income because I need to know what's coming in order for me to be able to decide what's going out and when it's going out. So these are all my income sources that I have every month. My goal is to obviously earn income from each one of them. So my main income will include my paycheck as well as some support for Kinsley. And for the month of April, my income should be, I'm just going to recalculate because sometimes I'll be doing this while I'm asleep. But I already did it once, so let's pray that it's right. So my budgeted income for this month is going to be $4,519.04. And again, that's my main job. That's my day job, as well as some support for Kinsley. That is how much I will be budgeting for the month. For YouTube pays you a month out. So what I'm going to get paid on April 21st is going to be my earnings from March. And this is my largest earning month so far, and I have cracked the 4-figure mark. So I'm super excited. Thank you all so much for your love and support. If you don't know, YouTubers earn their money when you watch the ads. On my videos, watch the ads. That is how I earn money. So thank you all so much. I am so grateful. I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd get up to 4 figures at this point. So I'm super excited. Now, for my rebate apps, Ibotta, Shopkick, Checkout 51, and Saving Star, I don't budget anything because it's just based on rebates I do and basically referral bonuses for the ones where I earn referral bonuses. So I don't budget anything. What you will see during my recap is I'll actually write in what I earn for all 4 weeks, and then I'll total them up in the actual column. basically, I'm at the point now where I'm doing rebates and getting referrals to use that to coupon. So I just make sure I have enough in my account to cover my couponing. And eventually, I'd like to start using them to cover my groceries as well. But we're working up to that. Teamy, I do get a commission every time someone orders Teamy. Actually drinking some Teamy Skinny. It is pretty late. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's pretty late right now. And I still have my tea leaves in from earlier. But I use the tea leaves 2 or 3 times, and now I'm just drinking cold tea in it. So I also don't know how much I earn from that. It just depends on if I buy something, I use my code, I earn some of my own money back. Or if any of my friends, family, subscribers, if any of you guys buy Teamy, I get a commission. So I don't budget anything for that because, again, I don't know until the end of the month how much I get. Selling my stockpile, it just depends on what people need. I do not set out a budget for myself. Again, because I don't know. Some months I sell none. Some months I sell 100. Some months I can potentially sell more. But I just started keeping track of this last month. So I do want to make, my minimum goal is to make at least $100, but we will see how it goes. And then last but not least, I offer one-on-one coaching specifically for couponing, setting up your couponing budget. If you need help with budgeting, if you need help with setting up a YouTube channel, I am your girl. All of my one-on-one sessions are hand-tailored to your needs. So if you're interested, the link is in the description box. You can get a half hour or an hour, and it is paid. So if I do get any coachings this month, then you will see that during the recap, okay? So that is my income at the moment. So we're just working with my main income in YouTube, and I just want to flip back to March really quick to see what I did. Okay, so I didn't put a total in until I got my actual total. So this is what we have so far. So this is the income that we're working with. My YouTube income, I'm actually going to budget separately, and I'm thinking that I'm going to do that. So when you get the recap, you'll see what I did with my YouTube money. As far as I'm using that to cover, there's some conferences I've been wanting to go to. There's some traveling that I'm doing. There's some things I need to pay for that I've never been able to pay for because I haven't had excess funds. But earning money from YouTube is now allowing me to further educate myself, to grow my business and grow myself, my personal development, and also travel a little bit more, which I'm super excited about. So I will show you all how I allocate those funds a little bit later. Well, I'll show you how I allocate those funds in my budget recap video because it's still a little up in the air. I have a general idea, but I haven't had time to work on it. So that's what I'll put here is my YouTube income as well as business expenses, okay? So next, let me make sure you're in frame. I'm going to slide it over so you can see this page. Okay, so this is my paycheck page. And because I told you all I get paid every single Friday, I break up my paychecks so that I will know what to pay every time I get paid or what's coming out every time I get paid. So essentially what I've done is, on this side, these are bills that I quote-unquote manually need to pay, or they're auto payment. The bills that you see over here are recurring. So every time I get paid, $135 goes into a bank account just for daycare, a separate bank account. I have like 7 bank accounts if I haven't said that already. I think it's 7, it might be 6, not 100%. I have a grocery bank account, okay? So instead of me doing like cash envelopes where I carry cash for each item, I just have a separate bank account and a separate debit card. Works for me. So I have $50 for grocery. I have $55 every week going into travel/debt repayment. And that is because my pay structure got changed a little bit, and I used to use a certain amount of funds every year to cover travel and debt repayment. But now it's kind of lumped into my salary. So long story short, I broke up those funds and I've allocated $55 a week into that account. That's what I'll use to travel as well as to pull from when I want to pay off more debts. And then over here, you'll see $365. It's a little hard to see, but if you look, $365 every week goes into my rent account. So that way, when it's time for me to pay rent on May 1st, I'll have enough money because $365 goes in. And also my A-Firm bill, which you'll see a little bit later, which is for a mattress that I bought. It comes out of that bank account as well because I wanted to keep it separate. So I split up my rent and my A-Firm bill. I split them up by 4. And I think it came out to like $359 and some change. So I just rounded it up to $365. And that's how much goes into my rent account every single week. and then I save $30 automatically every single week. So all 5 of these things are debited into a completely different bank account, and I only use it for these purposes. So I hope that makes sense. That's easier for me than doing cash envelopes. My job does not have any limits on how many direct deposits you can have, so it works out fine for me. Over here, I tell you what I'm going to pay every single week. I will go through it with you, and then we'll talk about what I budget out later. So every single week, I give myself $25 for gas. That is usually enough. My Discover credit card, I pay that in the first week. $25 for my debt snowball. We'll talk about that a little bit later. My minimum payment on my J. Crew credit card, my minimum payment on my New York & Co. credit card, as well as my minimum payment on my Express credit card. So how I come up with what to pay is I look at my monthly spread and I see anything that's due from this day, right? Anything that's due from the 5th until the 11th, I'll pay with the 5th paycheck. Anything that's due the 4th and before, or that first Friday and before, gets paid with my last paycheck of the month, okay? So you'll go down and you'll see. So on the 12th, I'm paying for things that are due the 12th through the 18th, and so on and so forth. So that is how I've broken these things up based on the due dates. I am going to change it up a little bit for April and May because the 5th is on or before that first week, so I'm able to pay some of my 5th bills on the 5th, okay? So for my second paycheck, again, I allocate $25 for gas. I'm going to pay my first financial credit card, iTunes, Netflix, my AT&T phone bill, which is high. I know I have lots of lines and things of that nature. And then my SunPass. I live in Florida, and there's a lot of toll roads here, and they're often easier to take as opposed to using like I-4 or back roads. So I always allocate at least $15 per month just in case I need to take the tolls at any point. That's good for probably 10 trips of what I would need to use. So most months I don't use it, but I still budget it out just in case I need it, or just in case I have to pick people up from the airport or whatever, okay? And again, all of my 5 things that are auto-debited are there. Week 3, again, I allocate $25 for gas. I am still paying on a collections bill from when I had Kinsley almost 5 years ago. I think I have 3 more payments left after this month, so thanking God it'll be over. That actually gets paid the 3rd Friday of every month. Then I have my Macy's credit card, my electric bill, Disney. I live in Central Florida. I will not live here without Disney passes. Geico, which is my car insurance, and then DirecTV, which is my cable service. And then week 4, I'm going to spend $25 for gas. You're going to see VS, which is Victoria's Secret, and you're going to see it blank because it is due on May 2nd, but I don't know the amount yet because it hasn't processed. So once I know the amount, I'll add it in. Same thing with Best Buy, is also due on, I think, May 3rd, which is before my first paycheck in May. So I'm going to make sure I pay that with my 4th paycheck in April. Rooms to Go is a credit card, but it's no interest. It's due the 3rd of every month. It's always $60, so I put that $60. My internet is due on the 1st, so of course I pay with my 4th paycheck. It's $68.55. BoxyCharm subscription is my one fund subscription box. It's $22.58. It's due on the 1st. And then Kinsley's Gymnastics is $90, and it is due on the 1st as well. Okay? So then over here is my actual April budget. So all of those items I just told you about, I have them budgeted out with the amounts that I budget, and then later on I'll write in the actuals. I am filming this on April 10th, so some of these have already been paid and cleared my account, so I did put the actual amount in for them. So for my rent, water, trash, sewer, they get paid all together. So I have budgeted out $1309 because that was the actual amount that I paid. This will vary based on the water and sewer. The trash and the rent are set, but the water and the sewer will vary. So this typically doesn't go past like $1320. I don't use that much water, so I don't anticipate this ever going past like $1320. Internet already came out, $68.55. Gymnastics is always $90. BoxyCharm already came out, $22.58. DirecTV, I budget $66 because it's like $65 and change. iTunes, I budget $20. Netflix is $11.91. My AT&T phone bill, I budget $344.65. That is the exact amount. My electric, I always budget about $75. The most my bill has been is around $70, but I do $75 just in case. It typically comes in lower than that. Disney, this is an actual amount. Geico, I budget about $165 per month because I just got my 6-month billing statement, and I think like $164 is the max. But I like to give myself a little cushion, so I rounded it to $165. Daycare is $130 per week. So I budget $520, which I need to actually change that. But I'm not going to change it because it's going to throw off all my numbers. Because I always forget that I put an extra $20 away for Kinsley. So as you can see here, I put daycare as $520. But I actually budget $135 a week because when Kinsley has school pictures or a field trip, or like she's having a pre-kindergarten graduation and we had to pay like $35 for the ceremony. So I keep an extra, $5 every week in that account. So when she needs something specifically for school, then it's there. When it's time to buy school clothes, supplies, I usually have, at least $200 in that account that I can pull from, and that's more than enough to get what she needs. If there's anything that I need, I make sure I have that extra money, and it builds up because I don't really need stuff every month, okay? So I do need to make sure that next month I put this at $540. SunPass, $15, but it's been working out because I haven't been using my SunPass money, so that's about the same. Beauty, I'm allocating enough for me to get a pedicure, to get my nails done, and to give a tip for my wax. My goal is to save at least $120. Like I said, I debit $30 every week to my account, but I always am trying to save much more than that. Groceries, I give myself a $50 a week budget. I am really thinking about taking this down because I'm not using it, and I'm finding myself using it to eat out. So I'm going to assess this month, and I may need to reduce that and save that money or do something else more productive as opposed to letting myself eat out. I need $100 personal for me to have just allowance or anything I need to buy. And then my tithes, I need to give Jesus $200. And that is everything that I'm budgeting. So I didn't want you guys to see this bottom part yet, but hopefully you weren't paying attention to it. We'll talk about the bottom part later. But my total budgeted amount for my budgeted bills is $3,429.26, okay? So now let's look at debt, and then we'll come back and go over these numbers. So I put my debt separate because I have so much debt, all right? So these are all of my credit cards, my collections, and my student loans. My student loans are in forbearance, so I do not have that amount listed. But basically, this is all of my credit cards. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13 credit cards, 1 collections, and 1 giant student loan bill. So basically, I just put the starting balance. I put the amount that I owe, and then I put the due date. Some of these have already been paid. Some of the interest for April has already been calculated, the finance charges. So this is where you'll see remaining balance for some of them. And this is the balance I use to come up with my debt total. So let me just go through them really quickly with you all. I have J. Crew credit card. That's a store credit card. This is the next thing I'm trying to get paid off with my debt snowball. Credit One, I can't wait to pay that one off. Can't stand them. I have a dash here because last month I was losing my mind and I actually forgot to pay Credit One. So I incurred a late fee. So in haste, I paid the late fee and I paid a little bit extra, enough to cover this month. So I don't have to pay a bill this month. So I'm skipping it. My collections is down to $360 before my payment that I'm making on the 3rd week of April. So again, I probably only have 2 more months to pay for that, and then I'm going to be done. Once it gets down to like 100, I'm just going to just call and pay it off. New York and Company credit card. I went shopping for my birthday and everything's finally processing. So I put myself another couple $100 down in debt, but I only shop once a year. Next year, I'll make sure that I have cash to fund it, and then I can pay myself back on my credit cards. And that has already processed because it was due on the 5th. That's already been paid. So this is my updated balance. Best Buy credit card, again, I paid it. However, I forgot that I had the Geek Squad yearly subscription, and it's on this credit card. So I forgot to allocate for that. I am going to come up with a list of my yearly subscriptions and write them down so I have them, so I know when they're coming out so I can budget for them. Because that caught me off guard. So now my Best Buy credit card is back up to $716.31, but it's totally fine because I use the Geek Squad very often, so it's a service I definitely need. Buy Power Capital One card has not been paid yet. It's still at $701.74. Express, I also went shopping. Thus why you see the starting balance and the remaining balance are $1 off. Because I did shop, I paid the bill, finance got charged. I'm left with $1,009.31. Victoria's Secret has been paid and went down to $1,201. Discover, I literally just paid it today. So at the end of the month recap, you'll see what that final number is. My Quicksilver credit card, I'll let you guys know what I did with that one. So whenever I travel and I need to rent a car or I need to get a hotel, I always go ahead and use a major credit card because it's better. It's the best option. So basically I take my cash, put it on the credit card. So you'll see here I paid $315 to cover some expenses while I was traveling. And some of it covered my minimum payment. So I didn't really have to pay a minimum payment. But you'll also see that my balance didn't change much because I used this $315 to fund my trip. I did go a little bit over, but I still have some available credit. So it's not terrible. Again, I'll work on it for next month, but it is what it is. When I'm traveling, I have to use a credit card. Otherwise, they charge you out the wazoo. Rooms to Go, as I said before, does not have any interest. So I pay just $60 a month, and you see that one's down to $13.11. A-Firm is where I financed my mattress. I got a really nice Casper mattress. It is amazing. I love it. I love it. It was so worth it. So worth it. That gets paid on the 4th, so my remaining balance right now is $1,246.86. That will be paid off in December because I was on the 18-month payment plan. Macy's credit card is at $2,442.48, and it has not been paid yet. And my First Financial credit card it's a closed credit card, but it still incurs interest. It's insane, and I owe $3,306.73. Okay. So my total debt, which I'm excited about because it's under $17,000, is $16,966.76. I'm excited because it's under $17,000. And I don't have any extra charges or anything this month. I'm not going shopping. So I'm hoping by the end of the month, I'll be down another at least $200. Because last month was really discouraging. I was only down like $60-something because I went shopping and I was acting a fool. So I'm just hoping and praying that this month I can be down at least another $200, okay? So that is my debt. My payments for this month are $810.56. With my debt snowball of $25, my total debt payments are $835.56. That is so much. That is so much. And that does not include student loans. So when it's time for me to add in my student loans, I can only imagine, okay? So that is what my debt payments are. So going back to this page. So you can see what my monthly expenses are going to be. My budgeted amount, which is right here, $3,429.26. My total debt payments, $835.56. My total everything is going to be $4,264.82. That will leave me with $254.22. I'm going to subtract that $20 from daycare because I know that I don't have that. So that's going to leave me with $234.22. And I'll make sure that for next month I'm just going to change it now. So $540 is what we're going to be budgeting. And then we're going to know that this is plus 20. So when I do the thing, I won't forget. Okay? So that is what I do. So again, if you're setting up a budget, you want to look at all your payments, subtract it from your income. whatever's left over is what's left over. I don't do a zero-based budget. I'm not there yet where I allocate every single dollar and cent to something. I am not there yet, but I am working on it. So I do have some goals that I want to share with you guys for the month. Last month, I completely tried to do a no spend, and it was an epic fail. So I saw Michelle, I think it was, say that she's going to do no spend days, and that made me feel so much better. Now, the first 10 days of April, I was out of town for like 5 days. So the no spend prior to today was unrealistic, okay? And I even bought lunch at work today, which is a whole nother story for another day. But anyways, my goal is to have 10 no spend days. So that means I'm not spending any money at all on these days. I'm not going couponing. I'm not buying lunch. I am not going grocery shopping. I'm not doing anything. I'm going to get back to my days of shopping with a purpose, pretending that I don't have the money to do anything that's not budgeted. Because I have a lot of things that I want to do, and I wasted so much money last month and the month before that I got to get better with it. So I'm going to commit to 10 no spend days between April 11th and April 30th. So that way I am packing my lunch more, I'm cooking dinner, and I'm not being lazy because I'm spending too much money eating out when I have a freezer full of food and a pantry, okay? My second goal is, because I messed up so much of my money and I had stuff come up, I was not able to follow my debt snowball, which I'll show you guys in a second. So my second goal is to just pay $100 to J. Crew. Because I wanted to have it paid off, and it's not going to be paid off. I should be able to have it paid off next month, but I want to contribute to it as much as possible. So I want to put 100 to J. Crew. And then, if I'm being 100% honest with you guys, on my trip, I went over budget. I underestimated what I needed because I actually did like a lot more things than I anticipated when I was there. And those things cost money. With my friends and family, which was totally fine because I haven't spent time with the people that I spent time with in a while, and it felt really good. So I was totally okay with going over budget. But that meant I had to pull from my savings account to cover the extra couple $100 I spent. So I want to give myself $100 to my savings account, and I'm going to try to do that for the next 2 to 3 months to just repay myself for what I spent and to repad up my savings. So those are my 3 goals that I'm going to commit to. I think these are very manageable. And as you saw, I should have an additional $234.22 this month. So as long as I don't squander it away with nonsense, I will be able to, at the April budget check-in, I should be able to, with no issue, put an extra $100 to J. Crew and transfer $100 into my savings account, okay? Those are my goals. Now, let me show you guys my updated debt snowball. All right, so we know that I messed up in March and I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. So I have done a modified April. So basically, my goal is to pay the minimum on everything but J. Crew, pay my $25 snowball to J. Crew, and then give myself an additional $100 to J. Crew. Doing that will allow me to be able to pay it off in May, I believe. I should be able to pay off J. Crew in May and be done with that one. Okay? So I have a long way to getting myself down to 30% utilization, which is my ultimate debt goal, so that I can start the process of purchasing a house. So that is my updated debt snowball. Like I told you guys, this is an ever-changing list. Once I finish this sheet, I have space on the back, and then I also can just create another one because I created this myself, okay? And this is my savings tracker. My goal for April is my regular 120 plus my additional 100 is my goal, but I had that written down. And that is it for my budget setup. So again, write down all your bills, track your expenses, and just make sure you're paying everything on time before it's due. If you have any questions about my budget, please comment those down below. I know I rambled a little bit. I went over everything. Hope it makes sense to you all. Share some tips and tricks with me about how you set up your budget and what you do to manage your money. Do you do the cash envelope thing? I am not a cash person. I just prefer having debit cards. I hate carrying cash. I did carry cash for my trip, but of course I ran out. I went over budget and I had to actually use my debit card. But for trips, I definitely can see myself using cash. It helped me be more focused on how much money I was spending. But for everyday life, to have to go back and forth to the bank, it's just a lot for me. So just let me know how you budget and what works for you and your family, okay? That's it, Maximizers, for my April 2019 budget setup. I'm doing this a little bit late, but I'm super happy that it's done because now I'll be able to just pay my bills accordingly and just stick to the budget. Let me know if you're having a no-spend day or no-spend month in the month of April. If you have questions, please comment those down below. Again, I'm looking for grace and understanding as I go through this budget/debt payoff journey. Again, I am offering one-on-one coaching for couponing. If you are ready to set up a coupon budget and you just need help figuring out where to start and you need one-on-one personal help, I am here for you. Each session is tailor-made just for you, okay? Again, if you have questions, please comment those down below. As always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.